What's up, guys? It's Reynad back, and once again, Side Games was kind enough to give me a pretty sweet card to reveal for you from the brand new upcoming Shadowverse expansion, Altersphere. So I'm just going to jump right into it. We got Zebet, Lady of the Flies, and this card's pretty sweet because it reminds me of Lord of the Flies, which is one of my favorite finishers from back in the day. So first of all, what is the stat line on this card? It's a 4 play point 4/4, which is fantastic. Great stat line. It's not going to be dying to a lot of the 3 damage removal that's common. It's pretty strong against opponents' evolutions. If you play it going second, it can trade into things very effectively. When it evolves, it stays a 4/4, but you immediately get one of these lethal insect thingies to crush your opponent. You also get an extra one if you enhance on 7, and you get 2 extra ones if you enhance on 10. So, what are these insects? Well, they're nuts. So 3 of them are the same as Lord of the Flies used to make, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. And we have a couple new ones too, so let's just jump into those. First of all, we got Vengeful Mantis, which is a 4 play point 4/4, great stat line. I mean, imagine playing Zebet on turn 4, evolving it, and then getting 2 4/4s immediately. That's just an absurd stat line to get out of nowhere. And the ability on Vengeful Mantis gives it an extra attack whenever an allied follower dies. I don't think the ability will matter too much, but the stats you're getting up front on this card are so good that it doesn't really matter. And then we got Veiled Shutterfly, which is a 4/3 ambush. And this is honestly one of the stronger insects you can get out of it, I think, especially early. So first of all, the stat line's great, and it's hard to kill, right, because it has ambush. All ambush followers are really hard to kill. But Shutterfly guarantees getting 4 into the face, which is so important. That's 20% of your opponent's starting life total. That's an absurd amount of damage. That's really hard for them to interact with. And you're not just playing the Shutterfly, you're also getting a 4/4 on top of it, usually with Rush because you evolved it. On top of all of this, the Ambush has some synergy with cards like Yonelise, which is the last card that I revealed. Yeah, just Ambush is one of the stronger abilities that you can have on a follower. It's really hard to interact with and just super strong. So I think that'll be one of the better cards to roll off of it. We got Vilosas Beetle, which is a 2/3 Storm Drain. You're not going to want to see this one early because the stat line's kind of weak, but if you get it late game, it can be very, very powerful because, you know, gaining a bit of life can really get you out of lethal range and can help you recover on a board where you're falling behind. We got Virulent Hornet, which is Rush Bane, and it's a 3/2. It's a great way to recover in the mid game. And finally, we have Vicious Scorpion, which might be honestly the best one to get most of the time. First of all, the stat line's great. It's another 4/4, but it has Ward. And there aren't a lot of Ward cards in Shadowcraft that are worth playing in Constructed. And there's a lot of hidden power in an effect like this on a card like Zebet, because the fact that Vicious Scorpion isn't the insect that you get always, you actually only get it 20% of the time because there's 5 different insects, means it's really hard for your opponent to play around Ward. So a lot of times they're going to kind of play into it. They're going to try to set up this lethal over 2 turns, and then you play Zebet, right? Maybe you make like 2 insects, you enhance on 7 and you evolve it, and all of a sudden you have a Scorpion and it just completely threw their plans off, and they're super far behind now because you just got a taunt when you shouldn't have had a taunt. It's like watching the World Finals all over again. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, I think it's just a super powerful card, to be honest. The stat line's incredible on turn 4. There aren't a ton of strong 4-mana options, especially in rotation. So I think this card will definitely see play, usually as a 3 of in most of the decks that it's in. It encourages going wide, which really is pretty great for your just plan of creating shadows, right? You're playing Shadowcraft. And yeah, you know, overall I think it's a card that just really synergizes a lot with the class, and really it's just strong in a vacuum. The stat line's crazy, the card does crazy things. It's just super powerful. I think when it comes to Unlimited, the card might still see play too. It's just so strong in a vacuum that you have to consider playing it. But that is a faster format, so we might only see it in rotation. And I think, you know, it goes without saying, if you ever come across this card in Take 2, just take it. Just take one, you know? If it's Zebet and an unplayable card, just take the Zebet, you know? It's just the way to go. But yeah, overall, I think this card is crazy powerful. I think it'll be a really big player in the metagame going forward. It's got to be one of the strongest cards in the expansion. It's just so good. I'm lucky to have been able to reveal it for you guys. So hopefully you like it. I will see you next time. Thank you for watching, and check out Altersphere when you get the chance. See you guys.